Good evening. Welcome to the February 28th regular council meeting for the town of High Level. You're stuck with me again as the chair. Mayor Crystal McAteer is attending via Zoom, but has asked me to chair the meeting in the circumstances. We have an agenda. Do we have any additions or deletions?
Mr. Deputy Mayor, administration has no additions.
Council? Someone prepared to move the agenda? Councillor Lambert, all in favor? Madam Mayor, if I don't hear from you, I'll assume that's in the affirmative. The February 14th regular council meeting minutes. Any errors, omissions, corrections, additions? Someone prepared to move the minutes? Councillor Dwyer, all in favor? Carried. We have the mayor's report that was provided to us via email. Does anyone have any questions for the mayor? Someone prepared to move the mayor's report as information? Councillor Anderson, all in favor? Carried. Council committee reports. On February 15th, 16th, and 17th, I did the 3-year assessment review board training. And on February the 16th, I also attended the Ready board meeting. Unfortunately, I was missed out on the NWSAR presentation on the 17th. It proved to be more than I could figure out to get logged onto their session. And on the 18th, I missed out on the Northern Alberta elected leaders meeting, although I was sent the draft minutes, so I'll bring those for the next meeting for council's information. Any questions? Councillor Anderson.
February 23rd, I attended a high-level library board meeting. They elected a new chair, vice chair, secretary, treasurer at that meeting, so their board's all set again. And on February 24th, I attended the Global Range AGM. All of those elections were completed, so nothing changed on their board of directors or their president, vice president. That's all I have.
Any questions? Okay, next, Councillor Dwyer.
So the 22nd to the 24th of February, I attended the Grosvenor North Conference via Zoom. And the 23rd of February, I also attended the High Level Library Board meeting as well.
Any questions? Councillor Jessup.
On the 9th, I attended the High Level Community Policing Society monthly meeting. And on the 18th, I attended the Child Advocacy Board meeting as well. And that's it for me.
Any questions? Councillor Lambert.
On February 22nd, I attended the High Level Chamber of Commerce AGM, and that is all I have to report.
Who's the new president?
Still Peter.
Okay.
We have a very low turnout, so we are trying a few things to maybe revamp the chamber and see what we can do. I had to leave my position as now on council, so I couldn't hold a position there, so we're going to try a few more things to try and get people engaged, especially with business members in the community. So.
Any other questions?
Just a question. As a councillor, you can't hold.
Well, I will be the representative on council,
Right.
but I was secretary before and a director prior, so now I'll just be the council representative.
Okay, I thought council members could hold the top positions on boards, though. Can we?
They can. It's up to the individual councillor and the discretion of the board.
Okay.
Maybe something I'll chat with Peter about.
Not to put you to more responsibility that you maybe didn't want, but.
Anyone else? Okay, Councillor Welke.
On February 16th, I had a CEC or Community Education Council meeting with Northern Lakes College, first one in quite a while. Proud to say that Mr. Mike Morgan has been reacclaimed as chair of that, so it's nice to work with him again. And we just basically discussed a lot of the initiatives that the college is doing. They're still virtual. They have 89 students total, looking at moving towards in class again, but we'll see how that goes. Just for the public, there's a virtual open house for Northern Lakes College on March 9th. Just go to the website northernlakescollege.ca to learn more about what the college has to offer. And there are some free safety training courses coming up. But I was trying to get some more details just prior to coming tonight, but I couldn't find them online, so I'll maybe get back. But there's some free courses that are going to be offered to the public. So first aid and things like that, which might be a benefit for a lot of people. February 23rd, with the Northwest Regional FASD Society, we are continuing our revamp of the board governance manual. So that was another long meeting. We have one more to go, and I think we'll have that done. And February 24th, the Mackenzie Frontier Tourism meeting at the museum, and that's all I have to report.
Thank you. Maybe if you could communicate that information about the free safety training to Mr. Schnarr, we could get that on the town's
Some
Facebook
cross
page
promotion.
and publicize it, because I don't think they always have great uptake even on their free programming. So, right, any other questions? Yes.
Just to clarify, the free training, who was putting that out?
Northern Lakes College
Okay.
is, I need to get more details. We talked about it in our meeting and I wrote down some notes on it, but then when I went to check out the details to present tonight, I couldn't really find it. So I will follow up on that.
Awesome. That's great.
Perfect. Does someone want to move those reports for information? Councillor Jessamine, all in favor? Carried. Council action list. Any questions, comments? Yes, Councillor Anderson.
Still wondering where the RSSA is sitting at.
Mr. Deputy Mayor, Jerry and I met with our legal counsel here a week or so ago. One of the holdups is still the fact that the other side was supposed to be preparing the water agreements. The ones they forwarded to us were not even well formatted, so we've had to rewrite them. The RSSA, the previous CAO for the county had rejected the map that we had attached, wanted a different map on, but there seems to be a consensus on the county side that they wanted the squared off map that they asked for during mediation, not the radius map that CAO had provided us. So that's gone back to the county. We have put forward, Ms. Phillips, the payment for the tender. Has that been accepted by the county?
Yes, but it was for the $1 that we owed. And then just an update that we have received the 2021 portion that was promised to us from their Director of Finance. So that is received for part of the $1 million for 2021.
So we forwarded them the water sharing agreement, the one that we've rewritten. So the only thing outstanding right now is the franchise agreement. But we do require the county's response on a couple of things in order to finalize the other agreements.
Okay. Any other questions on that topic? I guess part of that, and this is just a housekeeping, somewhere in the agreement, is there a deadline for them to provide the $1 million annual payment going forward?
I'll have to double check. I believe there is. It's in the spring, but so yeah, it could end up being 2 payments right away here once this thing is all finalized. But
3 payments.
Yeah, and our conversation with the county administration is they would be happy with the RSSA and the water supply agreement, so the direct supply to the county, getting those 2 signed off, seeing as they're substantially complete.
Any update on the annexation?
I think, again, I'll throw that back to Ms. Phillips. They verified they have nothing outstanding, the county has nothing outstanding at the airport.
Yeah, so we have cleared up any taxes that was outstanding for all of the town-owned properties for the leases, and went through their leaseholders to reconcile with our leaseholders. So going forward, when everything does go through, we We're starting fresh, so I did contact their taxation department, and for their 2022 taxation year, they will be forwarding those, so there is no penalties or outstanding balances going forward, but once everything is signed, then we can start collecting, hopefully before May, collecting taxes from those lease agreements.
So, Mr. Deputy Mayor, there was no, as far as we are aware, other than those housekeeping items, there was no concern by either legal counsel on that annexation agreement.
I'm just thinking in terms of collecting to make sure that the town collects the 2022 taxes, because of the current delays on land titles.
I don't know whether 2022 is going to be possible, to be honest. I think because of the other processes involved with the annexation and well, yeah, I think it might be difficult.
But they should still be forwarding those funds to us, even though they're collecting them.
So the understanding that I have is that we wanted to clear everything up for 2021, so we have a better understanding of what was outstanding balances with the current leaseholders, because once everything does come into place, we want to look at recuperating our funds. So anything that they do receive, they are keeping track for us, and will be having that in a holding account is my understanding, and then going forward into 2022, just starting off fresh where we take care of the original balances, and then if anything is collected on top of that, then we would have that forwarded over to the town.
Okay. Any other questions on the action list? Someone prepared to move it for information? Councillor Lambert, all in favor? Carried. The capital project status report. Questions? Yes, Councillor Jessamine.
Question regarding the upgrade for the audio and stuff in here. Do we,
Actually, I'll have Mr. Carson's address that.
Good evening, Council. We've had a design done fairly recently. I've also received an estimate on the pricing. There's a couple of items that need to be sorted out on the design, and we should be going out on official RFQ in the next couple of weeks.
Thank you. Any other questions for administration? Someone prepared to move that for information? Councillor Welke, all in favor? Carried. The financial report that Director Phillips emailed out. Any questions on that? Seeing none, is someone prepared to move that for information? Councillor Jessamine, all in favor?
Director Phillips will be working on an estimated 2021 year end, but she's in the middle of the audit cycle right now.
I
Yes,
imagine it's a busy time of year.
Yes, I would like to bring a more detailed, in-depth year-end financials once everything, this week is our audit week, so we'll be finalizing everything this week. So at the next council meeting, hopefully before we do our final budget meeting.
Thank you. New business. This is a rise and report from the committee of the whole meeting last week on the Northern Lights Regional Humane Society. Any other questions? Someone prepared to move the recommendation? Councillor Dwyer, all in favor? Carried. 13.2, the Vitalization Grant Program application.
Deputy Mayor, I'll recuse myself from this discussion.
The minutes will show that Councillor Welke left the meeting at 7:15. Again, this is another rise and report from the committee of the whole meeting. Someone prepared to move the recommendation? Councillor Lambert, all in favor? Carried. Can someone let Councillor Walkie know?
Jan, we're done.
Thank you, Councillor.
Didn't we get a chance to pick up?
Next is the town's COVID-19 vaccination policy. This is a further rise in report from the committee of the whole meeting with the minor amendments as recommended by administration. Any further discussion? Someone prepared to move the recommendation?
I will, Deputy Mayor.
Councillor Dwyer, all in favor? Carried. Next is the library board appointment. We have a request to add an additional member. See Director Rolfe. Does anyone have any questions for her? Someone prepared to move the appointment? Councillor Anderson, all in favor? And it looks like Director Rolfe is up again. The ice resurfacer bid award. It's all in the package. Some of the details were included in the in-camera portion information, just so that to protect individual bids. But there is a recommendation from administration regarding the successful winning bidder. Anyone have any questions?
I do.
Yes.
This is a
Yes.
battery-powered one as well.
Yes, it is. This is an electric one with a lithium-ion battery, so it's supposed to be zero to low maintenance. Attached to your report was a copy of a 10-year projected expenses. And if you look at that, you'll see that there's a huge difference between a propane machine compared to an electric machine. So yes, it is, yeah.
And because of the sourcing, we don't anticipate the same problems we had with the previous.
No, this company, Industrial Machines, is located just outside of Edmonton. They've been looking after Zamboni for a long, long time. It's a North American machine. And actually, I don't know if council had the opportunity to read the reference. So the reference was from the Ice Palace, so in Edmonton. And some of the questions I had asked is how long have you had the 450? Because it's a newer machine, being lithium ion. They've had it since January 2020, so for 2 years. They said we've had the lithium batteries, there's exactly no maintenance required. Ours is running just as well as it did when we first got it. They said they can do 48 floods. It takes about 50 minutes to charge the Zamboni for another flood. So this is quite different from lead acid. You don't have to do the 12-hour charging overnight or use opportunity charging. It's like plug and play. He said if I'm flooding in a twin rink, because they have 2 rinks there, he said I would just charge while I top up my water, so when they're filling up the water machine to go back out, they just charge and they're ready to go again. He said it's way simpler than previous generations of electric Zambonis. I said, how do your guys like it? He said, because operators usually have a different version. He said, the guys that drive natural gas models, municipalities, they just love driving this electric model. He says, I asked him about Connect. So what Connect is, it's kind of you can plug it in and you can diagnose similar to like a vehicle for the mechanics. And it'll tell you like any errors, anything going on. And you can also use it, like the manager will be able to, when he's at home on his phone, it's actually GPS too, so he'll know if the guys are driving out to Tim Hortons and coming back and that kind of thing, how the machine is performing. So he says he really likes that aspect. I asked him about if they've had any issues. He said no. He said there's no battery maintenance, no acid or distilled water to fill, no drawbacks in power. And he said we handle huge tournaments like the Brick where we do 20 plus floods in a day. And I said, as far as industrial, he said we've been dealing with them since 2009 and they've always been treated well. They have 24/7 on-call service and he's never been let down. We need something in a hurry. Yeah, so I just thought it was worthwhile knowing what the reference was like as well too. That's one reference in all fairness. So.
Thank you.
And we do have confirmation that the grant funding the deadline's been extended to allow delivery?
Yes, yeah. So I called them just to make sure because it's actually 6-month funding from December 2nd. So I wanted to ensure that it would be okay for a later delivery. The other company, Big Hill, that does Olympia, their delivery date would have been June 2023 for their electric models. That's like a year and a half. This one is a 2022. They anticipate it may be here by August, but might be a bit later. And it's no issue with the grant. They said as soon as we've decided what we're purchasing and have an agreement, they'll just prolong the grant funding. They said they anticipate that these electric models are between 6 months to a year and a half to get delivered.
And the trade value on the Engo, we couldn't market this ourselves, or is there a municipality that would
They offered us $13,000.
half what the batteries were?
Better than nothing.
Oh, I agree, better than nothing, but I'm just wondering whether there's a community out there that would benefit by buying this for the same price as opposed to buying it from the wholesaler for probably $40,000 once we give it to them. I don't know what it's worth.
It's probably worth more, but it doesn't have, the other company offered $20,000 for it, so they're in the ballpark. And they're both in, the other company is just outside of Calgary, so they both have access to lots of areas where they could, so they certainly weren't, either of them were very high on the trade-in value. I don't believe that there's not the high trade-in value that we might expect or deserve.
Well, I'm just wondering whether or not there was a site that we could put it out there in case there was a municipality looking for something basically at super wholesale value.
We could go that route, but then there's the pickup and delivery and all that too. Like just to, even for a rental, it's like $3,000 for pickup and delivery. So the idea of this is they pick it up when they drop off the other one. We just had it charged and have it running again, so it's ready to go.
All right, I guess we'll leave that to administration's discretion. Someone prepared to move the recommendation?
I'll make that motion.
Councillor Jessamine, all in favor? Carried.
Thank you.
The policy review for the CPO program.
Ms. Governor is online.
Yes, so it looks like quite an extensive review of the policies has been conducted. Does anyone have any questions for Ms. Gowan? Are you looking for one blanket amendment as set out in the alternatives, or do we require separate motions?
Just the blanket one and the further one to rescind. So essentially I asked Sergeant CPO to just go through all of the policies that we have, and there was one that was adopted last year, but the resolution didn't actually name rescinding a couple of the other policies. So just to kind of clean that up for our audit, some of them have been amalgamated, as you'll see, so they're not required anymore. But so just one stating each of the policy numbers and names, I believe, is sufficient.
For discussion? Someone prepared to move the recommended alternative number 1?
I can move alternative number 1.
Councillor Welke, all in favor? Carried. The correspondence for action was a carryover from our last meeting. This is just to remind residents that there is a public engagement session coming up here. I believe it's Wednesday, is it not? This Wednesday. This is through the Canadian Northern Corridor Engagement. This is out of the University of Calgary, and I believe the timeline is from 6 to 8?
Yes, 6 to 8 tomorrow, on Wednesday.
On Wednesday. This is available via Zoom. There's no requirement to register in advance. You can simply click on the link and log in. I believe that's posted on the town's Facebook page, correct?
We can bring that link back to the forefront tomorrow, but if you scroll through the Facebook, it says there.
There are a number of posters, I believe, that have been put up within the community as well, and so council would like to encourage all residents to log in and have input on what possible future development there may be, and these are primarily directed at east-west trade corridors within the northern parts of the provinces in Canada. Someone prepared to move that for information? Councillor Anderson, all in favor? Carried. Our correspondence for information is just the meeting minutes from January the 19th. Someone want to move that for information? Councillor Lambert, all in favor? Well, sort of short snappers this evening. Thanks everyone for joining us. This ends the public portion of the meeting at 7:26. Can I have someone move us in camera? Councillor Dwyer, all in favor? Carried.
Well, depending on council's questions, it should be quite.